Good morning, afternoon, evening, and night, my friends. My name is LuckyBazel, also known as Tyler, and we're doing a little something funky today. Just a little bit wacky. We're not doing a montage. We're not doing a draft league battle. You guys are gonna get to know me just a little bit more. We're gonna do my mains tier list. These are all the games that I can think of that I have played and mained, and I'll give a little description of like why I made them, and you'll see of which characters I like and why I like them, and it's just gonna be a nice little fun little chill time. Okay, I guess starting off, I play a lot of platform fighters. It's like almost half the list, maybe a third of the list is platform fighters. I love platform fighters. I think they are so cool. But you can't have platform fighters without Smash Bros. And starting with Kirby, yeah, Kirby's really good in that game, obviously. I love Kirby. I love his simplicity. I haven't played too much of 64, but I'm gonna make going through like the tiers. I'm gonna say like it had to be done. This is like my clocking in to 9 to 5 character. Kind of like I accidentally had to have a good character, just a character I like. Combos just feel really nice, I guess. It's been a while since I played 64, but it's yeah, I know. Kirby's just a cute little guy. Next is Melee Peach. For some reason, I like Float. You'll see I have a couple other float characters. I guess when I get to Ultimate, I'll kind of get into more of that. But with Peach and Melee, I like I'm not great. I'm not great with Peach because I'm not great at Melee. But I don't know. I really liked how Float felt and the combos. Dash attack is probably one of my favorite moves. I'm gonna say fun, but held back by skill. I'm gonna make this a little funnier. Fun, but skill issue. Yeah, I think Peach is fun. There's not a whole lot of characters I gravitated towards in Melee. I haven't played too much of it. I tried to grind a little bit, but haven't really played anything past like CPUs and like one person at a tournament, and it was awful. I got absolutely demolished. But I don't know. I can't play Melee, but Peach is fun. Yeah. Next, this is kind of where my brain functioned, and I was born playing Brawl Wolf. Wolf is one of my favorite characters, just like design-wise. I'm not a furry, but I love Wolf's design. I think he's awesome. His sound design is really cool. I love his forward smash where he just like slides across. I love Brawl Wolf so much. I know he's not like the greatest character of all time, but he was good enough. And I remember like juggling my friends, and my friends would get like really mad because they were also kind of new. And I would just absolutely demolish him because I kept juggling with the up airs and up smashes. But he's awesome. This tier is gonna be called. It's not like absolute loot, not absolute peak for me. But this is like This is a solid. This is a solid good time. No bad vibes here. But then we get to Charizard in PM. I haven't played too much of PM. I've only have like maybe like 10 hours maximum, not even. So I haven't played too much of it, but Charizard is awesome. Rock Smash is awesome. His flying mechanic, his glide, it just feels really nice. His forward air is meaty. I love how fast he is for being a super heavy. I don't play too many super heavies, but Charizard is really awesome. I will also say he's really fun, but also a skill issue. I'm not the greatest. I really like Charizard, but we get to the even better Charizard. This tier is gonna be absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Charizard is absolute cinema. Like in Smash 4, I don't know what it was, but like that's when I first like went to tournaments. Was in Smash 4. I did a bunch of crew battles in my school. I was considered the best player in my school. I love Charizard's jab in that game. Charizard with pivots was awesome. With his nice and juicy forward tilt. His grab game is amazing in that game. He has combos, kills. Again, I'm gonna say this once again. Rock Smash is awesome. I love that move. And I always found I was quite clutch with Smash 4 Charizard. I know he was not great, but just all around, he's just so much fun. But then we get to Ultimate. I've had quite a few phases of Ultimate. You see how many characters are down here? All of this could have been Smash mains. I swear to God, I've made literally half the roster. But I picked out 5 core ones that I think are my best and had the most fun with. Inkling was pretty cool at the very beginning of Ultimate. I kind of decided I was going to main a bunch of characters before the game came out. Inkling was one of them. I think Inkling was pretty cool. I'm gonna add a tier here. This one is gonna be called feels nice but gets kinda boring. I did find Inkling a little bit boring to play after long periods of time. I think his movement is really sick. Back air is awesome, and bomb snipes are super fun, and he just feels very smooth, which makes sense for that kind of character. But his game plan was kind of linear, and it wasn't the best thing in the world. Yeah, I think it was okay. Inkling's okay. I've also gone back and forth between maining Inkling over the years, and it's just I made them for a little bit and then I just stopped because I think there's other better, more fun characters. Speaking of fun characters, Incineroar. I love Incineroar. I'm gonna make another tier below here, and I'm gonna put Incineroar in there. Incineroar is awesome. Incineroar is really cool. Incineroar is just one of my favorite Pokemon in general, so I just kind of gravitated towards it. I'm gonna name this tier my favorite, but not great. I was pretty good with Incineroar. I won a redemption bracket, which was pretty lit. But yeah, I really liked how he can still edge guard even though. Sorry about that. I am back. But yes, I really liked Incineroar, but his character had a little bit too many flaws. Obviously, the slowness, recovery was not great. But I think, yeah, just not my. I don't know. I really liked him, but there's just quite a few things wrong from him to be actually good. But yeah, then is Wolf. Wolf is going to be in the very tippity top. I don't know. Wolf's movement, his jumping, his weaving, his kit. It feels so good. This is peak. It does not get much better than Ultimate Wolf. Again, his design is awesome. He's a good character, and he is stylish. He kind of has like everything I want in a character, and I don't know. Like I'm just like thinking back to maining Wolf in tournaments, and when I'm locked in, I am absolutely locked in. I will not get touched. I will get 0 to deaths. It's really awesome. Literally the only thing is like I'm kind of scared playing him all the time because sometimes he just dies off stage. But that's kind of my fault, kind of Wolf's fault. But Wolf is awesome. Now it's Bowser Jr. I've gone through a Bowser Jr. phase, or Roy, because he's my favorite Koopaling. Why? I don't know. I really don't. I like his voice, I guess. And the glasses are kind of cool. But yeah, the character did have some flaws, but I really like the Mecha Koopa play and his mix-ups with Kart. I think those are really fun options, and he's just like a good character. He's just like randomly like a mid-tier character that can just kind of do everything. He's got a decent recovery. His grab game's pretty good. His combos are nice. He's got some good disjoints. Like his smash attacks are some of the best in the game. Like he just has a really good time, and I have a blast with him. He did have like too many flaws for me to like put him a little bit higher, but he was a solid good time. I don't know. I just like Bowser Jr. Sometimes I like playing some of the not great characters. I just gravitate towards the low tiers sometimes, but that's just me. Speaking of low tiers, Kirby. Kirby was kind of like my ending phase of Smash Ultimate, but Kirby's absolute sim. I think my Wolf is more peak than my Kirby. Actually, they're pretty close. It's really hard to say between peak and absolute cinema for me. Because what my Kirby no, I'm gonna put it Kirby's peak. Kirby's peak. I know that character is flawed, but when I play him, I am a different beast. Literally, my highest placement I've ever gotten was 4th at a tournament. I think it was like 32 players. Was the max in that tournament, and my region is pretty hard, down in BC, Canada. It's a really tough region, but I think with Kirby is like actually my best character. Just overall, like I have really good combos. My edge guards are awesome with Rock. I'm really good at putting players into bad situations and capitalizing with the Rock. I don't think I've ever clicked side B once in a tournament. Unless I think I got maybe one shield break once. But Kirby's awesome. Low profile, like it was also he's just really fun because I love the challenge of trying to get around his weaknesses of him being stubby, slow airspeed. His recovery is a Mario Party minigame. It's literally a chance if you just die off stage. But despite all that, Kirby is awesome. Still going with Smash. We have Super Smash Bros. 2. I played that for quite a while. Yeah, Bandana D is one of my favorite characters. I love the Kirby franchise, and Bandana D is awesome. I remember playing Return to Dreamland. I was player 2, and I picked Bandana Waluigi, and I have not stopped loving that guy since. He is so cute, so badass. I love Spear is such a unique weapon. And I haven't played Bandana D in Smash Bros. 2 in a while, but I remember like just being just having a good time. He's one of my favorite like characters, but I'm not the greatest with him. Next is Black Mage. This is my actual main. I think Black Mage has one of the coolest kits. He has so many cool options. His spike is so satisfying. He's got quite a few projectiles. He can scrap with you. His movement just feels smooth. This is just a solid good time. I don't know. I just think he's really awesome. But that's for all the Smash characters. Next is Multiverses. Now, I've had quite a few phases with Multiverses, the beta. So, Steven and Gizmo, those two were my beta mains, and then Adam and Stripe were my like launch mains. Steven, Mango called me the Steven main. I love. Okay, a fun fact about me is you'll see this later. I love playing support. I've always felt we're gonna get some Tyler lore here. I've always felt like I've been the side character, the supporting character. I'm not the main character. I'm just an NPC helping out others, you know. And Steven being kind of like a support kind of character. He has the bubble. He has a bunch of shields to protect my teammate. Steven's combos were awesome. His movement felt great with the shield. Yeah, using the shield and with the perk that deals damage when they hit a wall is so cool. When I'm locked in with Steven, I am super locked in. Steven is freaking amazing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. See, Steven just feels so good. Probably better than Kirby, honestly. Maybe even a little higher than Wolf. It's kind of a toss-up between the two. Steven just kind of had everything I liked in a character. His kit, he was a good character. He was kind of hard to play, but it's really good. Gizmo. Gizmo's also kind of like a supporting kind of character. I wasn't the best with Gizmo. He was kind of weak in the beta. I know like in launch he got a bunch of buffs, but in the beta he wasn't the greatest. He's fun. It's really fun trying to make him work. I'm not like a super zonery kind of person. You can, as you can see, most of my characters don't have a projectile, and if they do, it's like not a very like spammable one. I guess Wolf Laser is kind of spammable, but yeah, Gizmo is really fun. That's pretty much it. I love these little goobers, the gremlins. I think they're awesome. They're one of my favorite movies, and Gizmo and Stripe are my favorite characters. I'll just go on to Stripe then. I think Stripe was a solid time. I had a fun time with Stripe. I wasn't the greatest with him, but he's definitely better than my Gizmo for sure. I was kind of like the last character I picked up. But yeah, he was really fun. Not much else. He has his saw blade is awesome. His gun combos are really cool. But yeah, Black Adam. It kind of had to be done. I'm not gonna lie. He's really strong. I have no attachment to Black Adam. I'm not gonna lie. He's just a character I'm really good with, and he just happened to be good. It was really fun learning the character, but once I like kind of learned him, yeah, that was pretty much it. I kind of had to pick somebody that was good, and this is after like when the game released. I didn't like Steven in the game release as much, so I picked up Black Adam, and he's a pretty good character. I'm not gonna lie, his spike is awesome, and killing off the top super early. I listen. If I had to go to a tournament and win, I would probably pick Black Adam. Next is Framemakers. Moving along, Framemakers. I only played it for a short little while. I'm gonna make a tier actually. Called Short but Sweet. I didn't play it for that long. And Octodad, I don't even remember his kit that much, but he was the only character I gravitated towards, and I don't know, I think he had some pretty cool combos. I think at the time, like, the animations weren't 100% finished either, and his up B, like his recovery was kind of weak and awkward to use, but other than that, he was okay. He was a good time when I played it. Next is Brawlhalla. I also haven't played that for too long. Yeah, this is a character. This is going at like the very bottom. I'm gonna make a new row below. I'm gonna call this just because. Oops. Just because I had to. I'm not sure why it's formatted like that, but whatever. Literally, I have to have a main, so I have a main kind of thing. I have no attachment to this guy. Core. I like this kit, I guess, like his weapons. Like the punchy glove, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Brawlhalla's a cool game. It's just not my thing, really. But we're going to Tara from Party. Well, wait, what is it? What is the game called? Whoa, I totally forgot what the game. Flash Party, that's what it was. Flash Party was honestly an awesome game. I think that game is better than most people would think, if anybody even remembers Flash Party. But Tahara, whatever her name was, she was the gamer with the mech, and she is absolute Zimmo. That character is so cool. She has like this like mechanic where she charges up when you like perfect hit a projectile, she gets stronger, and the robot that she summons can do more stuff, and you're like bouncing the opponent between her and the robot. And yeah, her kit was so awesome. I was absolutely farming in that game. Not like I wouldn't say she's peak, but she is such a cool character for absolutely no reason in a very niche game. For the small time I did play her, it was awesome. I liked her. Next is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl #1. Yeah, Nick All-Star Brawl was awesome. I'm gonna make a tier actually above. I'm gonna be called. It's gonna be called. It had to be done, but was awesome. But awesome. I loved Michelangelo in that game. I think his down B. I know his down B, like his turtle spin, was kind of broken, like literally broken. You can like combo, but the way his like nair worked and like the drag downs, he's a broken ass character, but his movement was kind of nice. The way that you can like pull people in and then keep comboing them from there. He had so many cool combo routes and kill confirms. It was awesome. It had to be done. He was top tier and broken. Actually, no. I'm gonna just completely delete this tier. I'm gonna bring him out of this. Delete this tier because I think he's a little bit more than it had to be done. Was that Absolute Cinema? Yeah, I think it was Absolute Cinema. Yeah, Michelangelo is a really cool character. I really liked playing him in Nasby 1. But Nasby 2. Nasby 2, Rocco was the one I gravitated toward the most. I liked his setups. He had some nice solid setups. His normals were quite nice. He had some nice kill confirms. He was just a solid all-around character. But he felt kind of boring after a little while. It's kind of part of the reason why I stopped playing the game. I wanted to do more tournaments, but yeah, he was just kind of like, he's a solid character, but he didn't have like much going for him after like his 1 or 2 setups. So that was it. But now for some actual peak in Rivals of Aether. We have my early phase in Sylvanos. Sylvanos is really cool. I think his design is awesome. The amount of things he can do is really cool. His recovery is really unique. I love his combo game. Like chaining fairs and dares, and then getting that sweet spot back air is so satisfying. Is he a good time or absolute cinema? Nah, Sylvanos is a good time. He's a good time. He's a solid character. Maybe not the greatest in the game, but I always had a good time playing Sylvanos. He's also like pretty like, I think he was one of the rarer characters in the game that people played. But yeah, I like that a lot. Sylvanos is really cool. Not too much to say. But later, we have another float character. Oh, this character might be peak. Nah, I wouldn't say he's. I wouldn't say Palm is peak, but Palm is really cool. Her notes and how they function are really cool. They're broken forward air. She's a broken character, but it doesn't mean I didn't have a fun time playing her. I don't know, I really liked how the float felt, and she definitely reminded me about like Melee Peach, but I can actually play her. It's a weird thing. But Rivals, kind of near the end, I played Palm, and I think she was really cool. But now for a weird character. In the workshop, I played Captain Toad. Captain Toad was a solid time. I liked Captain Toad a lot. He has some pretty cool movement with Luma. He can like slingshot himself. He's just an overall like solid character. He feels really fast, and his movement is really solid. He was just a good ass time. But now for Rivals of Aether 2. During the beta and kind of like literally the first week, I played Fleet. I felt another float character. Um, I still don't understand why I can't play Peach in Ultimate. I don't understand it. I'm not great with Peach in Ultimate, but every other float characters I can play. I think I need to make like another tier here. This is gonna be a new tier above. This is I feel free. I'm actually gonna put Sylvanos and Fleet in this tier because I think Fleet's kit is not like, it's not zonery, but the way her combos feel with like her nair, up air, and then like catching like DI away with the side B and the tornado, and then the snipes. Oh my god, I love sniping in platform fighters, and Fleet is the definition of that. You can snipe upwards, you can snipe sideways, you can snipe diagonal with the side B. It's awesome. I love Fleet. I feel free. Maybe not absolute cinema, but I think I feel free is a pretty good place for her. But then I swapped over to Forsburn, and Forsburn, something happened, and I love the mix-ups. His combo game is really cool. His offstage presence is really awesome. I really liked it. Probably not as much as Fleet, because I think Fleet did feel slightly more boring to play than Forsburn. But Forsburn was a very solid time. I had a lot of fun learning the character, and I feel like I could like take some sets off a pretty good character. Out of good people, I could take some sets in some games. And that is all the goddamn fighting game characters. You can see that, but moving on to a different kind of genre, we got Splatoon. I've played all 3 Splatoons, a pretty good amount of hours in each of them. It's such a fun series. But first, I think the first like main weapon I used was the Rapid Blaster. The Rapid Blaster was kind of cool. It was a decent weapon, I think. It was just a good time. I liked using it. Blasting around corners. It has some solid range for a blaster. And in Splatoon 1, when things were new, I don't know, it's been a while since Splatoon 1, obviously, but I feel like it's pretty, just a pretty solid weapon. Then there was the nozzle. I don't remember which one it is, but this one was... I really liked it. It was kind of hard to use. I'm going to say it was a bit of a skill issue, but... Actually, no, yeah, I'm going to say it was one of my favorites, but it wasn't a great weapon. It was really good for, like, turf wars and, like, the splat zones and stuff like that, where you had to paint the floor. And then you could also, like, tap it, because if you held it down, it did the short spray, and if you tap it, it does, like, the long burst spray, and it was really it was a really interesting weapon. But it wasn't super great compared to the other ones. Then Splatoon 2, we have the Slosher. This was awesome. I felt free using this thing. Like 2-tapping people with the Slosher and getting kills around corners and like above terrain. It was just really cool. I remember schmooving around with this thing. I don't remember exactly what like the sub was. But it was awesome. I remember that. And I did have a good time. But next is the undercover umbrella. This weapon was shit. It was one of the worst weapons in the game, but it was one of my favorite weapons to use. It was, I'd say, definitely over the slosher. I used the undercover umbrella. Actually, I think it's absolute cinema. It's pretty close to peak. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, actually, am I? No. It's not. It's definitely not peak. But it was such a cool weapon. It's so unique of being able to defend and attack at the same time, and using the splat bombs. I think that was the one or that you can use as like a movement kind of option, or is it the curling one? I don't remember which one it was, but you can use that as movement. And just kind of like weaving in and out, just being really fast with it. It's also like one of the best like terrain covering weapons in the game as well. And I remember moving around a lot with it, and I think it was awesome. Next was the Hydra, the heavy splatling. This one was a solid time, I think. Actually, it was kind of boring. I won't lie. It felt nice to use, but it didn't have too much going for it. And I think it was pretty good. It was pretty good on like a lot of the maps as well. Like sitting up on high ground and doing like slight charges and killing it. This thing like got kills, but it was kind of awkward to use, and I think there was more fun options, like the splat roller. The splat roller, I have so many cool clips of just absolutely like destroying teams. This was peak. This is in Splatoon 3. It was peak. I was climbing up the ranks so fast. I've gotten so many clips using the curling bomb as movement, like weaving in and out, winning fights I shouldn't be winning, getting like snipes with the jump shot. It was so good. It was so cool. I love how slowly over the time I was like, using regular weapons like the nozzle, and then going a little bit weirder, and now I'm just like full on melee, and it's awesome. So that's all my little Splatoon arc. I definitely liked. I think Splatoon 2 is probably my favorite. I loved the Splatbrella. It's probably one of my favorites to use, but it just the weapon wasn't good enough, and then this was just kind of undercover umbrella, where it was just as fun but better. It wasn't great, but it was better than than the undercover umbrella. But now we're going on to some Pokemon. I played it quite a lot of Unite. I remember grinding the game as soon as it came out. Mr. Mime was one of them. I'm gonna make a tier. It was funny. Mr. Mime is such a funny character. Using like trapping with the walls and pushing with confusion. He was a support character, but he felt like a DPS as a support character. Mr. Mime was funny, especially in early when not many people knew what they were doing. So Mr. Mime was kind of a troll character, but he was kind of funny. But next up we have is Machamp. Machamp was like my character that I was actually like kind of grinding with. Machamp and Eldegoss down here. I felt free with Machamp. Machamp was such a fun character, using submission to like grabbing people. I love grabbing people and just yoinking them and putting them back into your team. Getting the lead quite early. I played a bunch of bottom, and I remember racking a bunch of kills and just like chasing people down. He was just a fun guy. He was a fun guy. And then there was Eldegoss. It had to be done. I'm not gonna lie. It was a support character. I love playing support characters, but Eldegoss didn't have the most fun kit in the world. But Eldegoss was very strong. It had to be done. Yeah, Eldegoss is like the actual main support I used. And I climbed up quite high doing with my friend. But it doesn't compare to Mamoswine. Mamoswine's awesome. I love Mamoswine. Mamoswine is absolute cinema. Like, grabbing people with like the Ice Fang and like bringing them toward the team, and then using Earthquake to keep auto stunning him. He's like a tank, but he also like just kills you. And then like I remember getting a couple clips like being at low HP and then using my ultimate to just absolutely like demolish everything. Mamoswine is just an awesome character. Then we have Pokken. Pokken has some cool characters. Pokken 1 I remember labbing a bunch of characters and Suicune just being really cool. I felt free with Suicune here. Suicune was really cool. I remember in like the phase in the 3D environment using all the projectiles. Hydro Pump and Ice Beam were such cool moves. I love using those moves. Catching jumps and comboing as a finisher. Just the projectiles felt really good to use. And then Pokken 2 came out. It felt nice. I liked using Scizor. I think I used mainly Suicune in Pokken 2, but Scizor was the other main I had. I loved using Swords Dance. The Swords Dance combos were really cool, and the Bullet Punch. I remember climbing the ladder a little bit with Scizor. I wasn't the greatest, because I was just much better with Suicune. But he was fun. He was a fun character. But yeah. Now we're on to the 2D fighters. Now, all of these games I have not really played much of. Junpei was a cat. I didn't know who he was, but he was a cat, and I wanted to play the cat. He was fun, but I was terrible with him. Absolutely terrible. He's just like not. I don't know. I'm really bad at 2D fighters. My cat could probably do quarter inputs better than I could, or do a semicircle better than I could. But Junpei's a fun character. I was like almost trying to do some things, but it was just it was not great. But when it came to BlazBlue, cross tag battle, Junpei was one of them, but I think Ruby was a solid time. I liked using Ruby a lot. I probably like labbed this character and Chie the most. And I don't know, just like the teleport felt nice. The double jump combos was really smooth. I think it was just a smooth character. I was, like I said, I'm not great, but I had a good time with Ruby. But Chie Satanaka, I felt free. This was like the only character I could actually do something. Because when I played my friends, I get absolutely demolished because I'm terrible at 2D fighters. But Chie was like the one character where I could actually kind of do something with. And yeah, I remember labbing out a bunch of combos and just the way things linked into each other felt really nice. I like the characters that have pretty high mobility. But then there's Beowulf. Beowulf is extremely funny. I love his chair. It's such a funny move. And his kit is just really funny. I haven't played too much of Skullgirls, but it's the character's just funny, and nothing else. None of the other characters stood out to me at all. I just like using the funny chairman. But the other character in Skullgirls I used was Miss Fortune. Cat, zombie cat. I like cats, so that's why I liked it. It was fun. Yeah, kind of. Maybe not. It kind of had to, because I think it's a tag fighter, right? I believe Skullgirls is a tag fighter, if I remember correctly, and it's the only other character that I had to. Then there's Beerus. Beerus was short and sweet. I didn't play Dragon Ball FighterZ for long. Beerus was like the only character I kind of played, and I feel like I could do a couple things here and there, but it was short, but it was sweet. Same for Aino. Aino was also short and sweet. I did not play Guilty Gear Strive for long. I had a good time. I was not, again, I'm absolutely terrible, like giga dog shit at 2D fighters, but if I ever play the game, I play Aino, so I don't know. I liked how the kind of like the float kind of mechanic worked, and the cancels were pretty cool. JP, it had to be done. I've probably played like maybe 3, maybe 5 hours of Street Fighter V. JP was the only character I liked, and I liked his zoning tools. He was broken. He's very broken. It had to be done. I'm sorry. It's just a character that I picked up and was good on accident, and yeah, just it happened. So yeah, that's all the 2D fighters. Next is Monster Hunter. I love Monster Hunter. Is my favorite series of all time. I've barely beaten any of them, but they're just such good games. It's so jam-packed. The combat is so smooth. The gameplay loop is awesome. The world is awesome. I love Monster Hunter to death. The first game I played was actually Rise, which is very sad to say that it's my favorite series when I started with Rise, but it doesn't mean I haven't played the other ones. I've played a shit ton of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and in that game, I use the Insect Glaive. I think I use Standard Style in Insect Glaive. It's really, really good. I love trying to keep track of the insects and the buffs you get. And I think it's really satisfying how grounded it is, because I also played a decent amount in Rise as well, Sunbreak. Using the helicopter, that was a good time. But the weapon was just awesome. I had a good time with it. Maybe I'm not the best Monster Hunter Generations player out there. And it's probably one of my weaker games. Just not too familiar with like the older style kind of games, but I really liked it. I had a good time. But next is the Switch Axe, which I played in Monster Hunter World. It was good. It was kind of boring. It felt nice. The gameplay loop was pretty nice, but it's definitely not one of my favorite weapons. World is definitely my least favorite Monster Hunter game I played. It's I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But if I had to, Switch Axe was always it felt nice to play. And the discharges were really cool. But it wasn't. Yeah, the gameplay it felt nice, but the gameplay loop felt boring, I guess. But next was Monster Hunter Rise, which is my first ever game, and I picked up the hunting horn. The hunting horn was absolute cinema. I love the hunting horn. The things it can do is quite crazy. I love. It's kind of a support weapon as well, which I like. I was buffing my team. It just feels like it does a lot of damage. Swinging a big old instrument is just really funny. I love the hunting horn. Simple as that. Next is the Lance from Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been playing. I've already had like over 70 hours of Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's pretty close to being. It's not super peak, but it's absolute cinema as well. The Lance feels so good in Wilds. You're just non-stop attacking. When you're hitting monsters like New Udra and Azuu, you get to do the charge attack, where you dash forward a whole bunch of times. You do a shit ton of damage to the tentacles. The blocking feels amazing. I feel like I'm carried by the block. It's just such a good feeling. I haven't played too many other weapons in Wilds, but the Lance is definitely my go-to pick right now. Bow is also up there. I love the bow. It's so satisfying getting those big numbers when there's a whole bunch of wounds. But yeah. So that's all the Monster Hunter. Next is kind of the Hades. In Hades, I use the spear. There's a bunch of runes I liked. It was not the greatest weapon out there, from what I gather. Actually, no, I think it was a decent weapon. I think it's just because I liked all the weapons in Hades one were really cool, but if I had to pick one, I think it would be the spear. I remember doing the most, getting the best runs with it. Could be just luck, I don't know. It's just there. But the torch. The torch was one of my favorite weapons. I know it's not the greatest weapon out there, but when you're stacking a whole bunch of boons on it, just spamming the button, and just dealing a shit ton of damage, it's just funny. It's kind of great. It's not the greatest weapon, I don't think, but it's one of my favorites. Next is the hero shooters, and there's quite a few of them. We're gonna start off with Valorant here. If I had to pick a weapon that I'm a main with, it would be the Phantom. The Phantom feels great, but it's not it's fine. It's just kind of because I had to. It had to be done. It kind of had to be done. I use the Phantom all the time. I think I use it more than the Vandal, because my aim isn't the greatest. So I kind of rely on the spray more times than not. I think the highest rank I've gotten is gold 3 or something like that. But the main thing about Valorant is not really the weapons. I mean, it is, but the characters is where things really shine. First off, I played Omen. Omen was probably one of the first characters I ever gravitated towards. He's kind of more of a supporty kind of character. Oh, Omen's peak. Omen is peak, I won't lie. Using his smokes feel really good. You can use it in a lot of different ways. They last a decent long. You can place it almost anywhere. It's up to your creativity to do that. His blind is really cool. His blind into TP is such a fun tool to use. I'm also really good with Omen. I feel like I can entry quite well. I've got quite a few hours with Omen, and being aggressive is really fun. And getting some weird angles with teleport is also great. It's peak. It's peak. Next is Fade. If this was a tier list about attractiveness, Fade would be literally number one. This character is so damn awesome. It's a solid time. Her kit is great. It's not my favorite kit in the world, but I love her character design. And I guess like information and is kind of more support like too, so it kind of works out. Then is Deadlock. Deadlock is one of my favorite characters in Valorant. The kit is not great, but it is awesome. Getting the lineups with the net is great. Setting up on defense is great. And using the wall as being like an aggressive wall, like chucking out a wall halfway across the site is great. There's definitely better sentinels out there. Killjoy is also up there as one of the characters I use a lot. But I wanted to use 3 characters, and I think I like Deadlock more than Killjoy. And I feel like I used this character quite well, just kind of underrated a little bit. Next is Overwatch. I played a ton of Overwatch. I feel like I kind of really only have one main, but I wanted to kind of diversify and like pick one from each category. We have Roadhog. Roadhog is funny. He's a funny character. Getting hooks, going to the edge and hooking people off is awesome. Just tanking through everything with his take a breather, and I'm pretty good with him too. But it's really fun to like get some like skill shot hooks. It feels really satisfying. Not too much to say, but then there's Junkrat. Junkrat is free. I feel free. His movement feels really, really nice. He can actually smooth with his double mines, even triple mines if you set it up. I love aiming with the character. Funny enough, I know Junkrat is not known for aiming, but I love aiming with that character, and getting like massive tires is also, you know what? Junkrat's going to absolute cinema. I love Junkrat. He's probably my second favorite character to play, because my first favorite is Zenyatta. I love Zenyatta. It's my favorite support character. One of my favorite characters to play. He has no movement, but aiming with Zenyatta is so much fun. Getting right clicks halfway across the map, sniping widows with charging up your volley, and then, oh my god, fighting tracers and Genjis. It's so good. It's so much fun. I lose more times than not, but when I do like get those kills, which actually is a decent amount, when I'm winning the 1v1, and just like 2-tapping headshots, discording tanks, and just bursting them down. It's a support character that you can use, like saving your team with the healing orb, and then like when the enemy team like has like 3 or 4 ults against you, and you just say, nope, experience this tranquility, bitch. It's so good. I love supports that deal damage. I love Moira as well. But yeah, Zenyatta is awesome. He's just so satisfying. I've gotten the most play of the games with him and all that stuff. This is peak. Next in is Paladins, which I actually have an embarrassing amount of hours in. I love Meldumba. Meldumba is absolute cinema. this character is a support character, and then what you can do is you can like have the card that like lets you reload faster, and his like perks or whatever. So you have and his reload. What his reload does is you reload, and like he has a snake, right? And then when the snake reloads, it fires off and like stuns the enemies with a reload, and you can have like a very small cooldown on that. So you can just kind of like shoot 1 or 2 venom shots, reload, stun them, shoot once or twice, reload, stun them, and then you also have the gore that heals and does damage. And then you have a skill shot right click that does a lot of healing as well. And then you have a fear as well. Like this character just does a lot, and he has a good movement. This character does damage. He heals a lot. He's so much fun. He's a good character. I love Meldumba. Good character design too. Next is Marvel Rivals, the latest hero shooter. Actually, first we'll do Viscous. Viscous, I played a bit of Deadlock when it came out, and then in the open beta thing. It was short, but it was sweet. When I did play him, I had a good time. It was pretty fun. Bouncing around in his ball was a good time. I'm not great with that kind of like MOBAs. I'm terrible at MOBAs. I mean, Pokemon Unite is kind of a baby game, but anyways, yeah, Viscous was kind of fun. I didn't really like a lot of characters. Viscous is kind of close because I had to, but he was sweet. He was nice. He was nice to play. Next is Mantis in Marvel Rivals. I've kind of had 3 phases. My first phase was Mantis when I first started. It kind of feels like more like Zenyatta, where he does damage and heals at the same time. Healing can feel a little awkward because it's on a cooldown. Yeah, it was a solid time. I think I had a very solid time. Getting some nice sleeps on flankers. The burst just didn't feel as satisfying. But yeah, she's a strong character. It's kind of meh, but I had a good time. But then there's Rocket Raccoon. Everybody hates Rocket, but I think he is funny. He's a funny character. Just like literally spamming right click, and that's all you have to do. And then when you get dove, you just shift away and wall cling. It's so funny. I love standing still, finding an angle and healing my entire team while getting so much value. And then when you say, "Hey team, here's the amplifier. Enjoy the amplifier." It's just a funny character. I climbed all the way to Celestial with this guy, or more Grandmaster, and then down here, Sue Storm kind of put me up into Celestial, but Rocket was the one that kind of did a majority of the grind, and he's just a funny character. Then there is Sue Storm. Sue is quite recent, and I feel free. This character does a lot of damage, does a lot of healing. The stats get inflated because she just does so much. Pushing around people is nice. Getting away from flankers. She just kind of does a lot, and she feels really, really good to play. I feel free. And she has a nice ass. Bonus. Then there's Supervive. We're getting into the weird kind of characters, weird kind of mains like that don't really have a category. In Supervive, I played Kingpin. Um, it had to be done. He didn't feel like the greatest, and he was kind of boring. He wasn't super fun, and it was a bit of a skill issue. He's not super funny. Not my favorite. It had to be done. I actually no. It's just because I had to. I had to find the main in that game. I did not play for very long. I'm also not very good at that game, so I had to pick somebody. The skill shot was kind of like Roadhog. He has kind of similar to Roadhog's playstyle, but that's pretty much it. Then there is Camilla from Ravens. Oh god, what is the game called again? Raven's Loft or something like that? Raven's Watch, that's what it was. This game is really cool. It's like a multiplayer roguelike. This character is really cool. You can do like a lot of like drain kind of builds. You can do a lot of different things. I felt free with this character. Actually no, it was short but sweet. I didn't play it for too long, but damn, when I did play it, like I felt like I was like contributing to the team. But yeah, she can like the bite combo, and then I like the blood mechanic is really cool, like draining health, and the self damage and draining health thing is really fun to navigate around. And then you can also do like a perk where you have the bats, just like permanently on the screen, and yeah, just a really good character. Next is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. This is Ripperoo. I played Ripperoo at the beginning. I wasn't the greatest at the beginning. Ripperoo was also not a great character because speed was good, and he was a turning character at the time. Before each cart had like a shared kind of style. Ripperoo was a turning character, I believe. So he was one of my favorites, but he was not great. He was also extremely. He was kind of funny. No, he was not great. Ripperoo is such a funny character. I remember mimicking his laugh, his iconic laugh. He's just a funny character. He wasn't great. But a character in a straitjacket driving is really funny to me. And then later down the line, I picked up Chick when he came out. Yeah, he was okay. I don't know why. I have no attachment to this character. But he was funny. His voice, he has a funny voice. That's pretty much it. I liked his voice lines, and his model felt correct to whatever cart I was using at the time. And yeah, that was that. Then there is I don't even remember his name. I just played the Risk of Rain 2. Whatever his name is. I can't remember. But anyways, it's Loader or something like that. I think that's what it was. This guy, yeah, he's a solid time being Spider-Man, going around. Actually, no, this is kind of a skill show. I think he's really fun, but being a melee character is kind of rough sometimes. And when there's so much range in that game, I think he's really fun. Yeah, being Spider-Man, punching things, and his movement is really nice, but I was not great with him. Then is Hearthstone. I played. I had definitely a Hearthstone phase. I played the Battlegrounds a lot, and I loved the pirates. I was known as the gold grubber in my Discord group. It was a good. I wasn't the greatest Hearthstone Battlegrounds player, but actually I was okay. I had a solid time. I'll say I had a solid time with Gold Grubber. It's one I gravitated towards the most, and stacking up pirates, getting the golds, and just like super stacking a gold grubber is awesome. I love playing pirates. Elementals were also really cool, but I think pirates was the one I mostly tried to aim for. Then we're getting to the Mario section of this. I played a lot of Mario Kart. Mario Kart DS, Dry Bones, and the Dry Bomber. This was peak. I remember using the Dry Bomber and Dry Bones and that combo all the time. It was like the only one I used. Snaking around, it just felt really good. It was peak. I really liked it. Then Mario Kart Wii. I still use Dry Bones, but I use the Magic Cruiser. Yeah, Dry Bones is one of my favorite characters. I love the sound design of him and his like actual design. I don't know. I just think he's really cool. And I use the Magic Cruiser. I didn't use the Bullet Bike, the actual meta. The Magic Cruiser wasn't the greatest. But he's one of my favorite characters. And the Magic Cruiser was kind of a crutch. You can also do some pretty cool things by going off-road. It had the best off-road stat. And when I got to Sherbert Land, I was cooking on that stage. So there's that. I played a shit ton of Mario Kart Wii. Bowser Jr. and the what is it? The Dolphin Dasher. I use that combo a lot as well. I was considering putting this on the list. It would probably go beside Dry Bones here because I love Bowser Jr. as well. But Dry Bones, I'm a boner, guys. I'm a dry boner. Keep the fandom alive. But yeah, then Mario Kart 8. I didn't really play much of 7. I don't remember who I played when I played it. I honestly couldn't tell you. That game was meh. But Mario Kart 8 was awesome. Yeah, yeah, it had to be done. Actually, yeah, because Roy was like really broken in that game. And I didn't really like because Dry Bones and Bowser Jr. weren't in that game. And so I had to pick somebody, and Roy was pretty cool. I like Roy. He's my favorite Koopaling, and he was really strong, and it had to be done. I'm sorry. He was a good character. Next is Rosalina. Rosalina is also my favorite, like tied kind of with my favorite Mario character. Dry Bones and Rosalina are my two favorites. Rosalina is the best princess. This is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I love Rosalina's design, and like her voice lines and her character design. It's really good. I felt free. I used the bike as well. This is actually pretty much my combo, except I use the roller wheels. I used a shit ton of Rosalina, especially in the later half. I kind of bounced between Bowser Jr., Tanuki Mario, I played a bunch, Dry Bones, and then Rosalina. Yeah, the bike is probably the thing that's holding it down from Absolute Cinema, because the character is awesome. I love Rosalina. She's the best girl. I always pick her, but in this case, she goes down a spot because the cart didn't feel like the best and didn't look the best, but that's really it. But now we're gonna go to Mario Strikers. In Mario Strikers, I used Bowser Jr. That's kind of where I got my charged, I believe. This is where I got my Bowser Jr. is one of my favorite characters. I remember playing, and that's also where I used a bunch of dry bones, like this the side character, a lot. And that's why I played that game a lot. I played it with my friends. I played the campaign mode a lot, and just kind of on my free time. Bowser Jr. I don't remember how good he was. It was a solid time. I don't know. I like Bowser Jr. I liked his ultimate attack. He was just a solid time. Next, we're getting into Mario Party. Okay, in Super Mario Party, where they had the unique dice, I used Dry Bones. Not only was he my favorite character in that game, and in general, Rosalina was in that game too, but Dry Bones' dice being 111, 666 is so fun. You can like aim for 50-50s a whole bunch of time, and even if you miss it, you don't get punished. It's just such a good dice, and I love Dry Bones anyways. So it kind of just worked out. I love Dry Bones. He's a funny guy. And then in the rest of the Mario parties is Rosalina. Any other game that doesn't where the character doesn't matter, you can pick anything. I feel like, yeah, I love Rosalina. Just my tall queen. Such a good color. Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all time. I love Rosalina. Definitely my favorite princess for sure. And then there is this kind of like the in general Rosalina, like all the sports games, like Mario Golf and all like the spin-offs, and anytime you can play Rosalina, like the Olympic Games and stuff like that, I would play Rosalina, and I feel free. Actually, I'm gonna move Rosalina down, because I feel free. I feel like I'm one with Rosalina. I feel like I could put all these like together, but with that being said, Rosalina is awesome, and I love her. Yeah, so this is my tier list of everything. Yeah, that's a little bit more about me. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you share any mains that I do, I would love to hear it as well. In terms of like I guess what I am known for, I feel like if I had to pick like 3 characters, oh my god, my cat is going crazy right now. If I had 3 characters to describe like who I am, I would probably say Zenyatta. I'd say Rosalina, and probably Kirby. Probably Kirby, Rosalina, and Zenyatta are probably like the 3 characters I am known for. But there's other things I like more. So, like I like Charizard in a lot of games. That's not mainline Pokemon. I love Gremlins. Yeah, that is my tier list. I hope you enjoyed this kind of one-off little video here. And let me know if you want to see something else as well. That is all for today. I will see you all later in the next video. But of course, stay lucky out there. Bye-bye.